Wageni wetu wanaingia, kwa hivyo ni vizuri sasa tujiandae tuanze. Okay, then we start our conference. The guests are just around. Madam Pauline, I hope she's around.
So, as this person is moving around or navigating around, you can detect an obstacle from a distance. So, from this point, you can make a decision. Let me find where there is no obstacle. Then we proceed.
It's a bit unique because it has that different sound. Already there's some demand already, but I believe our design is a bit better. First of all, is the inclusion of the sensors like this, and also with the integration of a buzzer.
Hello.
Sound. You can also customize it, maybe for the end customer.
Your idea.
Yeah, so we are talking about automation to that.
Auntie, baby, it's cold outside. Busy, won't you come inside? You don't have to hide your love, not you are. Auntie, baby, I'm your guy. Busy, put your pride inside.
ideas cannot only enlist
Sema mpenzi habibi, habari ya maisha. I miss you my teacher. Yeah. Sema mpenzi habibi, umepotelea wapi?
So this gives that our economy is very economic and affordable. So and the strength is strong because it is reinforced by the use of PLC. Yeah. And in fact, in terms of the
As for me, there are vegetables, fruit cereals, there are also eggs, or so let's say you want to buy, let's say cow, you want to buy a cow, so you're going to click on that. When you click on the cow, you have a page that says the cow. The performance is the animation, so you're going to see all the farmers who are selling cows and this location they are in. And their details and how to make them. But for now, I'm just looking at it. So this is for if you want to buy a cow, you can see they are different. All pages are different depending on the set of products. If it's shipped, the delivery. Now, mostly at platform we are commercializing the commercial sales. But we have fast because we know we have great technology for our customers. So if you are yeah. So we have to be too fast. Not like what the product they say, you can find a things that we can help. So if I have something, how do you do that? Let's say you are a farmer now who wants to sell the product. You come into the farmer's website. Create an account if you don't have an account. So once you log in, it's almost similar to the look due to, farmers are saying on let's say your farmer wants something like eggs, the same process, right? So when you click it, you have the input and the updates of the cows or the product you're selling. Once you put a bit, you go to a database, you can see what you're selling. So you have to review first and also put the labels and all the to make sure that they're selling the best product ever. So once we repeat them, we move them to the platform.
So, is there any other system like this in I believe it was there. Is there one like this in the world? You see again, also a little farmers. I recommend search for those companies that will post this for you. So that you can get this. Then on top of that, you also add another ads. You can also add you are talking about cows, you can
Platform. main base. So these are very integrated out like irrigation, soil management, but the language of math, so we just irrigation, soil management, when it comes to like those areas.
Here is the hydroponic value addition of which to produce animal fodder. The hydroponic fodder, we use the hydroponic method. The hydroponic method is the method where we plant animal fodder without the use of soil or synthetic chemicals. We just use the chemical which is water. The hydroponic fodder is the cheapest fodder you can find in the market. Easy to plant, easy to manage, easy to practice, and easy for the farmers. For farmers to have this hydroponic fodder, you just need its available resources. A farmer can ask what type of seeds, what type of resources I need for the hydroponic fodder. The seed a farmer can use is oat, wheat, barley, and maize. As you can see, the maize, barley, wheat is available in farms for each farmer. Like the barley, wheat has the highest nutrients, so that we recommend the farmer, if he is capable of finding wheat and barley, let him or her use this. The hydroponic fodder has the stages where you come up with this hydroponic fodder. We have the soaking, incubation, germination, and the utilization. Before the soaking, we just have the site selection, where you planting your hydroponic fodder. Like for me, I use this school greenhouse for the plantation of this hydroponic fodder for our livestock, the zero grazing unit in the school. For each farmer can just have like a small scale, like just look for something so that you can just provide a shed for the hydroponic fodder. The hydroponic fodder, after you have just select site selection, you just have your seed for sorting. Sorting help to get the best seed for this hydroponic fodder. The sorting, you just have to sort the seed so that you have the best seed. After sorting, you just soak your seed. Soaking of the seed takes 24 hours, that's a day. Soaking the seed just bake the seed, normal seed, help the seed to have the soft coat, so that when you are incubating the seed can germinate or produce shoot easily. After you have soaked your seed, then you incubate your seed. In incubation, a farmer will not go to look for an incubator. You just have to use its available bucket. You just recommend the transparent bucket for light penetration, and that bucket should have the lid. So after you have the lid, you just have to make holes for aeration. As you can just the germination require light and air. The incubation takes 48 hours and 2 days. After the farmer has incubated the seed, you find the seed as production. Then the farmer will take the seed to where he is just making the site. The site, you just have to make sand or something like this. Just spread your seed here, then you start sprinkling water. Sprinkling of water will take now to commend the farmer what type of animal, what type he wanted this. For example, the farmer wants to use this seed for chicken, for piggery, or livestock, cows. The farmer will just plant this after for 5 days. Will find the stage. The farmer will take this and give the poultry. After for almost 10 days, this height, the farmer will take it for the piggery. At 20 days. Yeah, the farmer will take it to the cows. As you can see, the animal requires the green matter for production of high milk. The farmer will, the hydroponic fodder has high chances. The farmer will have high production. As you can see, silage and other food market has high cost. As you can see, the government is running out of the fragmentation of land. For example, His Excellency the President is doing the affordable housing. We're doing the hydroponic fodder. The President is doing the affordable housing so that those people at the village will not to the land for their housing. They will go out there, purchase that land, that house, so that this farm at home will use for the production of human food. Then you have like hike of land. You just have to this side for maybe grass, this side for like lettuce, black carrier, this side for the small yam, this side for your maize, wheat, then this side for your house. As you can see, then you just to use a small farm for your neighbor grass. But the black carrier and the small yam, the product will take that part. You find that the best advantage of this, if you take this, you give it all to the animal from the roots to eat the plant itself. If you take this to your poultry, you give it all from the seed, roots, and the plant, the animal. It's cheap in the market. As you can see, this is 2 kg of wheat. Now, after I have just planted and reached at the age of 20 days, if I take this and have measured it, just this one is above 2 kg. This one and this one and this one is all almost 10 kg. And if I can take the that 2 kg of wheat to my if I give it this, just this, it will take a long time. Before it finishes this, I have other mind planting this. It will take me easy time. If you can just make 5 days to get this, if I take 1 month, you find I have a lot of hydroponic. Hydroponic fodder is easy. You don't require any other synthetic chemical fertilizer for this. Just water.
Laptops, CPUs, the backup CPUs, we use them properly. Another this program, IT system, and also the solution is other
using recyclable batteries, recycling the batteries from
it has a motor which is communicate to the computer.
Can you write it receive?
Maximum 45%.
How far can it go?
When fully charged, it can be maximum 6 hours.
6 hours.
That's 180 kilometers.
You can go to Nairobi. Right into the sea.
Imewaka mabada. Haina betri?
Battery imeisha.
Need to recharge.
Oh, it is
When you design it that way,
Can you
this is for
men and office to office.
Design for machine use of rain
But for us, we have that not specifically, but maybe those
this is the first model. Yeah. On the model and the first one. So the new solution is that we try to see whether there are others who are using the same design.
Yeah, we have tried to, we are trying to minimize the waste management using batteries.
Yeah, it's a good one. It has a good feature because papers are everywhere. They are printing out everything. I'm surprised that they are saying the normal CPUs are not capacity. So it's the laptop.
The laptop and the CPU, the backup. We have a small battery backup. Before it's even, it takes time. It's like a capacity.
So this one is patent. Okay, that's good.
The modern is the better.
They are recycling. The best
Yes. Hii ni mashine gani?
Sweep these streets. Sweep. We want you to sweep. Yeah. This is the last one here.
Oh, this is the container. So this is where
Collected.
for one rotation of the wheel, the broom spins how many times? Just to capacity issues.
You put a pepper so that you see if it put something.
No, the front wheels are small.
Yes. And put it there. Doesn't expire. Street haiko kuna majani. Nani ametupa majani? Iko na takataka kama hizi. Mtu amekula sweet ametupa. So waeke hizi. This is what happens. Na hizo pia. Nasema kutoa hapa hizi vitu.
Kama kujaza na nusu sana.
Okay.
Na hii kwa
So mnaongeza tu.
Ona? Unaweza anza na hii.
Answer that. Another press. Start from there, bring this like that. That is all.
alafu iko chini. Sasa hii rokota iko bending, imebend hivi kwa juu. Yes. This one was higher than the lion in a mwaka. Wanaweza kufanya hivi, waweke chuma hapa ina rotate hivi ina mwaka mbele yake
Let's have your modification for heel.
Shout. Ambia shout.
Yes, you're sitting down.
Yeah.
Not completely flat. Just the height of a pillow.
The height of a pillow.
You need to work on that. So that it can be adjusted at different levels depending on the comfort of the patient. So it's not one level it's another one is another. That are more flexible. So my question is, why can't you have a deck on top of it? What is the advantage of having one deck on top of it instead of having a deck on top of it?
For example, rods from this bed. Not touching.
And then maybe I'm also looking at it's a hospital where maybe you need to use the space. Here we have space here.
This is not wasting space since the patient is bad. We use this space to clear out. So we either use both sides. And I think which is true. Now, yes, we use this one since it increases it's a cheaper hospital. So remember, the entrance part is here. Actually, you will not find nurses. You will only find doctors and nurses there. But just patients.
But what you see that the patient will come to this center. So when the patient is coming to the center, you know I'm a short part. Suppose somebody is waiting for her. That's what we are saying. We are giving you charity so you can improve. Yeah. So you will think about the
security
of the person who is
but they're coming to lie on the bed.
Yes.
Watching here.
Imagine it why you have a one.
It's a self-help project. It's under, it's for kids, yeah, so it's not for kids, Me? I tried this one. You know, I already have the same colors here. No, this was a better color. Yeah. Yes. You said it's on 300. Yeah. That's I'm gonna change. How much is that? There, nimenunulia hiyo. There's still money here, maybe her. There's still money. Yes, maybe you can pick
Napelekea
yeah, I'm saying don't look for the change. Let's try somebody else takes something.
Bro,
sorry. So that is, this is 3, 6, there's still this one. And the other one.
Thank you, Madam Pauline. The coordinator, we may have our seats. Our chief guest today for this conference, our council chair, Professor Wagayo, our chief principal, members of the council, guests present, our trainers, our student leaders, our trainees, all protocols observed. Good morning. This is a good time that God has given us. After one whole year, when we held our inaugural conference in Nyandarua, that we may come back and for that 1 year just show what we have been doing, and also the world bring to us the research, innovations, findings, and commercialization and ideas that they have gathered. Our chief guest today, we are happy that you are in to grace this occasion. And because of time, that we are starting by around 11:25, but I know we started earlier because you've been walking about to see the innovations that we have. Please welcome. And we thank God that He has given you good health to grace this occasion. Without much ado, I'll introduce the community that we have around with us, particularly in our institutions. With this, I will introduce our leaders, student leaders. Any of the outgoing student leaders present, please stand and wave on us. Any of the outgoing leaders present, please stand. Thank you. We can clap for him. Any of the leaders that are aspiring to be leaders, if you are there, you can stand up and just wave on us. Any of the leaders aspiring? Thank you. We can clap for him. Our chief guest is because the term of the officers as our leaders is over, and we are now in the transition. That's why we say even, and we are happy for them. I would just say that we are happy that we have much that we have come up with this year. And in this case, I wish to welcome our Deputy Principal Admin to welcome or to introduce the members of staff and then hand it over to our Chief Principal to do the next part of the introduction. Madam Mary, please.
Thank you, Daktari, our chief guest, our governing council chair, our chief principal, other governing council members, county principals who are present, our invited guests, as well as the trainers, Nyandarua National Polytechnic, our outgoing student leaders, students, good morning. This is a very good day that the Lord has made. I won't take long. I would even just request the members of staff to stand wherever they are. Nyandarua National Polytechnic, I know others are in classes, but we can have a few who are here for introduction. So I'll go by departments kindly. So if I mention your department, you can simply raise up your hand. And I will start with the host of this event. That is the research department. We have the coordinator, Madam Porine. Let's appreciate her. She has been organizing this since long, and this far we have come. So we have the liberal department. Are you there? So that's nice. Let's appreciate them also. We have applied sciences. Kindly, let's appreciate them. We have agriculture. Even the HOD, I had seen him around. So agriculture, can you raise your hand if you are not outside for innovation? I know there is also a training which is going on, where that's where might be the HOD could be, but we have a representative at the back, so that's appreciated also. We have hospitality department, which is growing very fast. Hospitality department, where are you? I know they also have some innovations at the department. We have their HOD also, who is concerned about our welfare. Let's appreciate them also, because we are introducing our department. Then we have mechanical engineering, and HOD Kiambi, if you are there, you can wave also. HOD, mechanical department. I can see Wambogo wave. That's nice. We have electrical engineering. You can see they are there, members. Thank you. We also have business studies. Business studies, if you are represented. So let's there is a representative there. Then we also have ICT department. ICT, good. They are also represented. And building department. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. The other introduction I would do is probably my chief principal will do the rest of the part. But those are the departments that we have in Nyandarua National Polytechnic. We are happy and you are welcome. So I would want to appreciate our chief principal to continue with the other part of the program. Let's appreciate him also.
Thank you, Deputy Admin. Our chief guests, the PS State Department of TVET, are ably represented by the county director, like Kipia Kirinyaga and Muranga, Mr. Kaume, our Chair, Governing Council, Professor Wagayo, Governing Council members, my colleague principals who are around, and the representatives of the principals, government officers who are with us, the county officers who are with us, our guests, our student leaders and students, our trainers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Is it morning or it's afternoon? It is still morning. Our guest of honor, allow me, before I make a few remarks, just to recognize our guests, those who are around, so that we can know who is there. I know we have a few colleague principals who are with us and their representatives. I will request you just be upstanding so that we can recognize you kindly. And if possible, maybe this roaming mic, somebody can hand it over just for introduction. If you are representing a principal, your principal, please just stand up for introduction.
The chief guests, all protocols observed. I'm Stephen Gashanja, representing the chief principal, Michuki Technical. Thank you.
Most welcome.
Chief guest, governing council, guests, staff, and trainees of Nyandarua National Polytechnic, good morning. My name is Agnes Kashenge. I'm Principal Kinagop Technical and Vocational College, a former trainer here. I'm happy to be back home. Thank you.
Now, chief principal, the chief guest, the chair of the council, Nyandarua National Polytechnic, the council members that are present, the CATI principals, and the trainers around, and also the deputy principals. Good morning. My name is Jacob Mwangi, the principal of Kalau Technical and Vocational College, the neighbor of Nyandarua National Polytechnic. Thank you.
Thank you, colleagues. I can see Nyeri, you are represented. They are not, you stepped out.
They might be out there.
They might be out. Guest of honor, we also have other guests. Maybe I will just request them to stand and wave at us. I'm sure we will be interacting more as the day goes on. We have a representation from Tower Circle. Just wave at us. I'm sure we'll give her an opportunity to say something in the process. Then we have our partners from CICAN. We have Eric. Eric, you can wave at us. Most welcome. He is doing some work with us. He's training our trainers in agriculture, and it was a good opportunity for us, for him to be with us. I have covered all those who are there, but it is important, our guest of honor, I mentioned that quite activities, actually quite a number of principals are telling me we are on the way. Yesterday we had the National TVET Fair in Nakuru, which ended up quite late. Coincidentally, it Today we have another very important activity in Embu, that is the job fair. Actually, we have even sent some of our representatives there so that they can see what is happening for the benefit of our trainees, because the job fair is about how to secure job opportunities in the diaspora. And we thought that was very important. We could not miss it. And the opening is again today. So there's quite a lot of activities happening. But ladies and gentlemen, allow me to take this opportunity to welcome all of us to our second International Research Conference. Guest of honor is important. I mentioned that last year is when we had the first or the inaugural international conference. But with the second, we would say we are in the right track. So just allow me to make a few comments. It is my great honor and privilege to welcome you all to our second international conference at Nyandarua National Polytechnic. I extend my warm welcome to all our international and local participants who have taken time to be with us today. Your presence here is a testament to your commitment to advancing skills and innovation for the betterment of our institution and our communities. Our theme for this year's conference, leveraging skills and innovation for communication, commercialization and socioeconomic transformation, resonates deeply with the mission and vision of our institution. As we gather here, we are reminded of the critical role that technical and vocational education and training TVET plays in equipping our youth with the necessary skills to thrive in the rapidly changing world. This year, our conference is organized differently because we have paper presentations, skills and innovation competitions, and much more in order to give our trainees and trainers an opportunity to showcase what they do to the potential employers and industry partners. Innovation is the cornerstone of progress. It drives economic growth, improves living standards, and innovation among our trainees and staff. We believe that by harnessing the power of new ideas and technologies, we can create sustainable solutions that have a lasting impact on our TVET institutions and communities. We are clean and patented and commercialized and transformed into useful products and services. Addressing this would enable TVET to play a significant role in achieving the Big Four agenda areas of manufacturing, food security, universal health coverage, and affordable housing. Therefore, I advocate for the establishment of incubation hubs in the TVET sector, stronger linkages with industry, increased research funding, and more incentives for the industry to adopt innovative ideas from the TVET space. This conference, our guests provides a unique platform for us to share knowledge, exchange ideas, and collaborate on innovative projects that can drive commercialization and socioeconomic transformation. We are privileged to have a diverse lineup of panel discussants and participants who bring a wealth of experience and expertise from the various fields. Your contributions, ladies and gentlemen, will undoubtedly enrich our discussions and inspire new pathways for development. As we embark on this 3-day journey of learning and collaboration, I encourage all of us participants to actively engage in the sessions ahead of us. Let's have the critical minds of us asking questions and build networks with the fellow attendees. Let us all take full advantage of this opportunity to learn from each other and to forge partnerships that will drive our collective vision forward. In conclusion, our guest of honor, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who has worked tirelessly to organize this conference. Your dedication and hard work have made this event possible. I am confident that our deliberations will be fruitful and that we will leave this conference with renewed energy and a clear roadmap for leveraging skills and innovation for commercialization and socio-economic transformation. Once again, thank you so much, participants, for attending. Thank you so much, our guest of honor. And now, at this juncture, allow me to invite the Chair Governing Council to take over, introduce the Governing Council, and make our remarks. Most welcome, Chair. Thank you.
Our chief guest, Principal Secretary, State Department of TVET, ably represented here by the County Director, Kirinyaga, Nyandarua, and Laikipia, council members, chief principal, other principals from other TVET institutions, the lecturers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my pleasure to be here again for this second international conference. We were here last year. We are here again. So now I would like to first, before I give my remarks, to introduce the council members. And they are seated at the front, so I will start in this corner. Jacob Ojuando is one of the council members. Ben Sanda, another of our council members. Abdul Kadir Faisal. Joel Sigilai. And Engineer Matoke. Those are the council members present here this morning. Only 2 are absent for various reasons. So you can see the importance we put for our institution. And we have gone through the exhibitions even as council, and they were quite exciting, those innovations. We were enjoying what they were displaying to us and giving a bit of feedback. So let me go to my remarks. So on behalf of the Governing Council, it is my great honor and privilege to welcome all conference delegates to our second International Research Conference at Nyandarua National Polytechnic. Your presence here today signifies a collective commitment to advancing research, innovation, and education, and we deeply appreciate the sacrifices you have made to be here. This conference offers a unique platform for researchers and young innovators to showcase their scholarly works and talents. It is a testament to our dedication to foster an environment where creativity, practical solutions to everyday challenges are celebrated and promoted. We saw practical solutions to challenges like the street sweeper. Was a very interesting thing. You can just push a machine and it will sweep the street for you. So it is good to provide practical solutions to challenges that we face in society. I urge our researchers and innovators to focus on practices that enhance skill development and improve learning outcomes. Recent TVET policies have concentrated on developing new curricula, occupational standards, and stakeholders consultations. However, there has been less emphasis on how these curricula will be delivered by educators. It is crucial that we now shift our attention to innovative pedagogical approaches, such as the use of information and communication technologies and the integration of entrepreneurial education in TVET. We saw one of the innovations utilizing the communication technology techniques, the farmers trying to sell their products online. So we encourage such solutions to the challenges that we are facing. Additionally, we must introduce key sustainable development issues into our teaching, including climate change, disaster risk reduction, biodiversity, poverty reduction, and sustainable consumption. These topics should inspire and equip learners to address sustainable challenges and seek innovative solutions. We have seen one of our products, the electric bike, they are recycling batteries. So that is something that is good for the environment. So I think we are practicing what we preach. Principal, I think we are practicing what we preach. We recognize the various factors shaping the future of the TVET landscape, which present new ideas of research. These include changes in climate, demography, business and labor markets, technology and migration. The transition to a green economy, the implementation of digital technologies in the workplace, and the emergence of new forms of entrepreneurship are not only transforming job profiles, but also creating opportunities for addressing socio-economic challenges through innovation. This evolving scenario drives TVET systems to enhance their capacity to identify future skills demands, such an entrepreneurial development by incorporating activities like applied research. We have seen a lot of the applied research in the innovations we've seen. Capacity. And while these changes pose challenges for the future of TVET, they also present opportunities to maximize the social and economic benefits of TVET globally. The theme of our conference, Leveraging Skills and Innovation for Commercialization and Socio-Economic Transformation, underscores Nyandarua National Polytechnic's commitment to leading the way in shaping the future of TVET and science and technology and innovation as catalysts for Kenya's socio-economic development. This conference, therefore, could not have come at a more opportune time. To realize the TVET agenda, collaboration with other partners is essential. And Principal introduced some of our partners, so we are collaborating with partners. So I extend my heartfelt thanks to the partners attending this conference for their support and collaboration as we drive the STI agenda forward. I also call upon other development partners and stakeholders to join us in backing these efforts. You see, when we put our innovation, when we display our innovation, we need partners who will pick up those innovations and commercialize them on our behalf. I commend the Chief Principal and the organizing committee of this conference for their unwavering commitment and pursuit of excellence. As a council, we will continue to support your efforts to make Nyandarua National Polytechnic a center of excellence in research, innovation, and technology. Once again, I welcome you to this conference and look forward to a productive and inspiring engagement. Thank you and welcome. I now wish to invite the chief guest, the county director, to come and address us.
Thank you. You may get seated. The Chief Principal, Nyandarua National Polytechnic, and our host, Mr. Mumatu. The Nyandarua National Polytechnic Council Chair, Professor Magayu, members of the Governing Council, principals of TVET institutions, and deputy principals representing our sister institutions present, our trainers, trainees, invited guests, our partners, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm here to represent my senior who was to come and grace this occasion, but as you have been told, there are so many activities going on, and that's why the PS is not here today. But since she had prepared a speech for you, I will read the speech on her behalf because it was meant for this opening occasion. So allow me to read the speech of my PS, Dr. Esther Moria. It is my pleasure to join Nyandarua National Polytechnic for their second International Research Conference. The theme, leveraging skills and innovation for commercialization and socio-economic transformation, aligns perfectly with the government's bottom-up economic transformation agenda, BETA. This agenda prioritizes agricultural transformation, inclusive growth, empowering micro, small, and medium enterprises, MSMEs, developing a digital superhighway, and fostering a thriving creative economy. The TVET sector plays a crucial role in driving this transformation by equipping individuals with the skills and fostering the innovation needed to succeed in these key areas. To achieve meaningful development, we need a shift towards applied research. This means research that is directly addressing real-world problems and generating solutions applicable to the challenges faced by our communities and industries. Furthermore, we must ensure that research and innovation are inclusive. This means actively seeking out and supporting ideas and solutions that benefit marginalized and disadvantaged communities. Training institutions, research organizations, and industry players must collaborate to develop and commercialize these innovative ideas, ensuring everyone has the opportunity to participate in and benefit from economic growth. The government's commitment to this vision is reflected in sessional paper number 1 of 2019 on education, training and research reform. This policy emphasizes integrating science, technology, and innovation, STI, across all economic sectors. We are investing in education at national and county levels, ensuring policy objectives align with the Constitution, Kenya's Vision 2030, MTP4, and international agreements that we are a party to. The TVET sector, recognized for its role in workforce development and national progress, must integrate applied research into its core mandate. This will ensure TVET institutions provide industry-relevant skills and competencies that are constantly evolving alongside technological advancements and economic needs. As we celebrate 100 years of TVET in Kenya, I encourage all TVET institutions to actively mainstream research and innovation in their programs. This is a critical step to revitalize the TVET sector, ensuring it remains at the forefront of equipping Kenyans with the skills and fostering the innovation needed to drive the bottom-up economic agenda. Bridging the gap between innovative ideas and real-world application requires strong collaborations and linkages. TVET institutions, government, and the private sector all have crucial roles to play. TVET institutions can establish innovation and entrepreneurship hubs that provide incubation support, mentorship, and access to resources for students and graduates with promising ideas. Government can create an enabling environment through supportive policies, funding opportunities, and streamlined regulations for innovation and entrepreneurship. The Technical and Innovation Training Authority, TVETA, is in the process of developing a standard for the establishment of incubation and entrepreneurship hubs in TVET and county governments in order to streamline the process. The private sector can offer expertise, mentorship, and potential investment opportunities to help turn these innovative ideas into commercially viable ventures. By working together, we can ensure that the brilliant ideas generated by TVET institutions are nurtured, supported, and ultimately brought to market, creating jobs, boosting economic growth, and driving Kenya's bottom-up economic transformation agenda. This conference is timely, and I highly commend the Nyandarua National Polytechnic for championing for the conference. It's my expectation that the deliberations in this conference will add a lot of value to the TVET sector in Kenya. With these few remarks, it's my humble pleasure to declare on behalf of my senior this conference officially opened.
Thank you very much, our chief guest. Let's clap for him. We now get ready to get into the content of this conference after the good opening ceremony that we have had. I would ask them that are informed to remain there, and I would ask we have just a bit of an interlude as we get our first keynote address, who will address us through online. So as we prepare, I would ask we have a short interlude of entertainment, even as we get him online. And I would ask the moderator to come in front, Mr. Jacob, so that immediately we have our presenter online. Our moderator will now take over to go through with the panelists. There is a seat for you, sir, there. Please welcome. And I ask the in charge of entertainment, we have the short interlude of presentation, even as I ask the ICT team to get Professor Kitaige online. Please, ICT team. I hope all the 4 screens can get Professor, or can be able to see Professor as he makes his presentation.
chetu cha ufundi cha kitaifa cha Nyandarua, chuo tunachokipenda. Mungu kibariki chuo chetu cha ufundi cha kitaifa cha Nyandarua, chuo tunachokipenda.
Thank you. Let's clap for them. ICT members, as you get ready, I would just say our conference theme this year, leveraging skills and innovation for commercialization and socio-economic transformation. And we deliberately chose this theme because we believe that Kenya and Africa at large is fully capable of addressing its own challenges, creating self-sustainability, and raising the living standards of our people. This can be achieved through investment in human resources and research. When there is an overemphasis on academic knowledge with retro investment in TVET and research, people stagnate and continually seek external solutions for their challenges. This has often led to a relentless pursuit of white-collar jobs, creating a gap in the industry and market demand. It is our hope that this theme will inspire us to consider our contributions towards both national and global development goals. This is why we have this international conference. Our conference that I have just said, titled Leveraging Skills and Innovations for Commercialization and Socio-Economic Transformation, looks at the various sub-themes. The themes includes 1, TVET, a key driver towards industrialization. Please, you can have Professor in if he's already gotten in. Yes, theme number 2, digital economy. Digital economy. Sub-theme 3, we have green economy innovation. Sub-theme 4, we have sustainable agriculture technologies for agribusiness transformation. Theme number 5, we have commercialization and socio-economic transformation. We have sub-theme number 6, cross-cutting STEM courses, weighted women in technical education. And for us to meet the object of our theme, we are now ready that we may have our first presenter. This year's presentation is in terms of panel, of which there is the keynote address, and then we have the panelists, of who shall be able, through the moderator, to respond to various questions of the theme or sub-theme that we have. And without much ado, I will now just want to know whether our keynote address speaker for the day is online. Professor Kitainge, you are in. Professor Kitainge. Please, Mr. Jacob, you may now come and take over from there as the moderator of the session. Please. For the start, you can come and have him in, then you can go on. It's okay, sir.
That we want to deliberate with Professor Kitainge, who is the CEO of CDAC. So he is the CEO of CDAC in Kenya, and therefore he's very important for this international conference of Nyandarua National Polytechnic. I can see him over there. So Professor Kitainge, can you get us?
Good morning.
Morning to you, sir. Welcome to...
I can hear you. I hope you can hear me.
And the audience can also get you very clearly. Yes, thank you, Prof. I welcome you on behalf of the members here in the conference. So we have our chief guest here with us. We also have the chair of the Council, Nyandarua National Polytechnic. In this forum, we have the chief principal. We have the other principals, CATI principals with us, the trainers of Nyandarua National Polytechnic, and students and other members also invited. So, Prof, I want to tell the audience that we are joined by Professor Kitainge, who is the CEO CDAC here in Kenya, a very important person that we have interacted with for quite some time in Tibet. So welcome, Prof. The sub-theme that we are discussing with you online in this international conference of the Nyandarua National Polytechnic on research. The sub-theme is Tibet Industry Collaborations for CBET Industrialization. Tibet Industry Collaborations for CBET Industrialization. Before I engage you, sir, I request you to just tell us just a little about Tibet, and then we are going to engage on the areas we want to talk about. Please welcome.
Thank you so much, moderator. Allow me to observe all the protocols and appreciate the chair of council, Nyandarua National Polytechnic professor, who is with you there. I also appreciate the other chief guests of the function, this conference that we are having, members of council who are present in the meeting, invited guests, CATI principals who are in the hall. I also want to appreciate the students of Nyandarua National Polytechnic and all of us, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I am humbled to be in your midst via this system of virtual meeting. I'm attending this meeting for the sake of declaration from Nairobi Technical Training Institute. I was sent here by council to do something, and that's how I'm attending online. I want to first and foremost mention that I've been courses where national polytechnics have not developed their own, we offer curriculum, we do assessment, and we offer certification. I think that is enough introduction for now, unless there is a question. Thank you, moderator.
Thank you, sir. Just to remind you, I'm Jacob Mwangi, the principal of Kalau TVC. Now, Prof, we can go to a few guiding questions so that we can cast light on this very important sub-theme that we are talking about in terms of collaborations for CBET and industrialization of CBET. Now, Prof, just to engage us, what are these industry collaborations for CBET industrialization from where you sit?
Thank you, sir. I'll continue calling you moderator, lest I call you a wrong name, but it's okay. I can see your name. Yes, you are Jacob Mwangi. Bwana Mwangi, industry is the sole purpose. It is the sole recipient of our products in the TVET space. Collaborating with industry is nothing new. It is actually the most ideal, the most focused way of training. We train our trainees, or we take our trainees through a process, preparing them for an end. Industry collaboration is an integral part of our training. We need to start with industry, progress with industry, achieve with industry, and perfect in industry. As we are all aware, we've implemented competence-based education and training in this country, and CBET means we do train not for industry, but with industry and in industry. So the best model for training to achieve the skills and the attitudes and the competencies that will finally lead somebody into being absorbed at the workplace is by having a close collaboration between the training institution and the industry. So our people should be trained by institutions and by industry in a collaborative manner. We need to get the required skills, the required competencies, the required attitudes, work behaviors that will promote smooth transition from training institutions to the workspace. So industry collaboration is the main thing, and it's at the center of our training. If you are training me how to do garments, how to do clothing, the best way is for me do the real clothing so that somebody can buy, and whatever I'm making then becomes part of the final outcome. If you are training me how to process milk, then I need to have the skills that are required in processing milk, and I process milk that will go into the market, not dummy, but real thing. Industry collaboration for TVET training is a must. Industry collaboration is the way to go, and we must achieve it with our local industry, which are the SMEs, and also with our bigger industries that are well established. The work space and the training must be infused together. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Prof, for that quite elaborate explanation. Now, currently, there are challenges in the collaborations between TVET institutions and the industry due to lack of relevant policy on the issue of end industrial mentors and the benefit the industry gets out of the collaborations. It is like the industry expects a symbiotic relationship whereby both the industry and TVET institutions benefit out of the collaborative relationship. In the light of this, Prof, what is the government doing to ensure CBET industrialization succeeds seamlessly?
Thank you. I will refer ourselves to the report of the Presidential Working Party on Education Reform. This matter was a matter that is well addressed in that report, and it's a matter that the government is developing policies and papers that will streamline the relationship between institutions and industry. A case in point is that we have said that all government projects that are happening around us should involve a training component so that our trainees can participate in the development of our projects. You will find, for example, at Nyandarua National Poly, you may have a construction, and yet we are looking for space to have our students have the industrial experience in building. We should first begin by involving our learners in the projects that we are doing so that they learn as we develop. This can be done by incorporating shift engagement of our student learners and the trainees into the projects so that from this time to this time, a certain group visits and does the real work. From this time to this time, a certain group visits and does the real work. We run eateries and we also do catering. We should involve our learners in such so that our eating spaces are managed by us, but we involve our learners in the doing. We also do matters, water and related services. We should engage our trainees such that we are doing the real thing, not demonstrations in the workshop. We start by demonstrations, yes, but as they develop in their skill, we should allow them to work on the real life projects. Secondly, when industry is able to appreciate that our trainees can produce for them at a lower cost, then industry will be more friendlier to us. Thirdly, we need to develop engagement policies that allow us to engage in a way that industry knows we are developing skilled labor for them, and we know that industry is assisting in the development of this skilled labor. That symbiotic relationship, that mutual benefit should be encouraged. And with the time and the fact that once we lift our youth to go to the space, it is our level of our life that is being improved, and therefore we are getting better as a nation, we are getting better as training institutions, we are getting better as a country. We must promote the improvement of our own systems, because when everybody is up, and even the buyers of our services and products will also be many to support the industry. I hope I've touched on your key areas.
Yes, thank you, sir. In most industrialized countries, such as Germany and Finland, industries go to TVET institutions for specific skills to the benefit of the industry. In Kenya currently, TVET institutions are looking for the industry to train on the relevant skills. What can the TVET institution do to reverse this trend?
Thank you. Rome was not built in a day. I know industry in Germany and Finland is well established, and actually the best candidates go into the TVET sector so that they do sometimes what we call the TVET in schools, where industry comes into the training at the lower levels to develop the youth as they grow so that they love the TVET. We need to appreciate our industry is not as developed as there in those other countries, but we have industry. We have workspaces where our people go into. We need to appreciate the levels of our industry and the kind of offering they have. As training institutions, we need to be flexible to the industry. theory courses from Monday to Friday, we should kind of consolidate them so that if somebody is required to be at the workspace, they can finish 3 days of the week at the workspace and come 2 days of the week in our space of learning. The other way is we can talk a training so that we say they will do 1 month programs. Institutions may want to train and complete. It's not about how long you've taken to be at the institution, but it's about have you achieved the skill that is required. And that way, if we change our focus to achieving the skill and promoting a skill that is recognizable out there in the workspace, then I'm sure are our industry, and we should grow into them. When we train our people where they find employment, that is our industry. Let us appreciate ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are going on well, and the forum here, that is, we have filled the hall. They are clearly listening to you. And I'll go to the next issue. In some forums in Kenya, eminent government officers in the Ministry of Education have been quoted passionately, equipment and machinery in the TVET institutions in Kenya.
TVET institutions should be production centers. All TVET institutions should be production centers. When you go downtown here at Kirinyaga Road, in this Nairobi where I am, you will find a setup of one lathe machine, a setup of one milling machine, and the person who manages that workshop is able to produce for the market. I want to challenge all of us. We have the state-of-the-art machines in our space. We have the state-of-the-art equipment that has been provided in most of the disciplines. I may not say all disciplines. Most of our institutions are centers of excellence in particular areas. If you're a center of excellence in maybe value addition in agriculture, and you are given equipment for value addition in agriculture, maybe milk processing, let us do it. If you are given equipment for the textiles, let us do it. You are given equipment for catering, let us be seen to be a center of excellence in that particular area, and that area will support the others to become centers of excellence. We have the challenge of spreading thin, I know, and when we spread thin, we are made a center of excellence in electrical, and then we want to go into marine. We may not be effective in marine sciences because the oceans and the lakes are not everywhere. We will not be experts in meat processing because the cows and all that, they are not everywhere. But each national polytechnic has a niche. Should have a niche area where they are doing the best to support the rest of the services that are offered. I am sure there is something we can do perfectly, better than the Juakali, better than the existing industry, and we use that to develop the rest of the systems that we have. I am sure that we ourselves are a big market. If it is food supplies, Nyandarua National Polytechnic should feed the population of the students who are there, and I know there are more than 2,000. If it is matters agriculture, Nyandarua National Polytechnic is well located to produce for itself and also for the neighboring regions to suffice. We don't need to get chips in our hotels that have been grown elsewhere, yet we have the farm which goes all the way up to the river. And I know you very well, I know you are doing very well in milk production, I know you have the potatoes, I know you can do seedlings for plants to grow. We are afforestation, we are planting forests in this country. Nyandarua should lead in crops that, in plants that grow in that region. So let us not give up because we lack some of the equipment, but let us make use of that which we have to support the systems that we are running with. And this applies to all other institutions that are in that hall. When I say Nyandarua, I also mean Kisumu, I also mean Eldoret, I also mean Mombasa, this is Kenya Post, I mean Northeastern. All of us should focus and it will be well. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. We are concentrating here. I have just a few questions that are left so that we can delve in properly into this sub-theme. Now, you have just mentioned about Juakali sector. The recognition of prior learning in TVET institutions has brought a great opportunity to the informal sector, popularly known as Juakali, to certify them they are relevant but informally required industrial skills. In China and Japan, among other industrialized countries, English language and mathematics are not necessarily a prerequisite of industrial recognition in the training of technological skills, as has been also here in Kenya witnessed in the informal Juakali sector. Prof, to what extent, in terms of policy, will this continue in the Kenyan TVET institutions?
Thank you. Let me start by first of all reminding ourselves what His Excellency the President of this country said. I wish I had that clip to play, because there was a clip that I have, or there is a clip that I have about what the President said when we were launching the torch, TVET at 100 torch in Nyeri National Poly. He said that a Mason who has come to our institutions and is qualified in masonry is sometimes failed because he has not achieved the language. Those of us who have gone to other countries, especially non-English speaking countries, you might have realized that English is not the only way of communication. There are other people developed without necessarily having to speak the Queen's English. Language is a matter of attitude. As long as you can communicate and achieve the goal, the technical goal that we need, then we should be qualified in the area where we need to be qualified. And I say this with regard to, or in relation to the RPL that we are doing. We are saying that we need to recognize skills that have been obtained through alternative means in whatever language the person is comfortable in. Because these people, they may not speak very good English, they may not speak very good Kiswahili, but as long as you've explained what you require, kama ni fundi wa nguo, you will produce the suit, and it will never say it was produced by somebody who cannot speak English. Most of the food that we eat is produced by people who cannot speak good English, but they know how to manage the temperatures, how to balance the ingredients to get the best meal that we all enjoy. A case in point is a mechanic. The person who repairs your car and my car may not be the best person in English speaking, but once he's able to deal with the part, if you are dealing with the shock absorbers, the person will tell you nataka sokomsoba, and that is okay. Sokomsoba, you understand what the person is speaking about. You don't fail him just because he's calling a sokomsoba or a shock absorber a sokomsoba. The person will fix the car and will drive it competently and comfortably. Most of the drivers who have been carrying us around were people who are illiterate in the speaking of English, but they could drive during the day, when it is raining, when it is windy, when it is dry, and they drive us to different destinations. These are the people who have brought us up. We need to appreciate the skill in them. Those ladies in that room are very good makers of ugali. They were taught by their mothers, not in English, but in the vernacular. And when they make ugali for you, you can tell this is good ugali. If they make chapati for you, you can tell this is good chapati. am I going to? I'm saying let us moderate our interest for language, because there are people who come to our institutions for that particular skill. The rest are our own wishes. I wish you could understand English. I wish you could communicate more with more audience. But how many people come to us in English? If I operate in the local area, how many people will come to me in English? They will come and tell me, maji kwangu ina leak, a leakage kwa maji. You will find the problem and fix it and go away. So let's develop those who can be very good in English with the people who are good for English. And those who are very good in English, they are good in the skill, let them do the skill. Let us have a situation whereby we train people, even in the micro credentials. We allow somebody to come in and take some fake course. And he's going to the gypsum industry to do our ceilings. Let us allow somebody to come in and do tiles. You don't need English in tiles, you only need to do a bit of measurements or a bit of reading, not literacy. That's why we are calling it literacy, but not English. And then we were in Italy. Italians don't speak good English, but they are developed. We always think of the Italian suit, the Italian shoes, the Italian tie, and everything Italian. But they speak their language. Go to Germany, you need to speak their language. Go to China, it's important you understand their language. So this attitude we have about language being above everything else, we should moderate it. Language is good, but it's not everything. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I can see some members of the panel online, or members of the of this congregation. I can see some online. So if you are getting us from online and maybe you have a question to Prof, you can just talk so that we can give you a chance to ask any questions. Those members that are getting us online, we can see you on the screen. So in case you have any question or any contribution, you can interject and we are going to give you a chance. So Prof, I just have a few questions to engage you on. Kindly outline even some of the best practices and success stories in the TVET collaborations with the industry and CBET industrialization in Kenya. Do we have some best practices and success stories here in Kenya? Kindly.
Thank you. I don't know if I should respond now or wait for other questions, but we have very many good success stories. We have wonderful success stories in this country. And a case in point, I will start with all the institutions that have catering units that are run by our students. And the people come in to eat and buy, and eat what is produced by students. We have institutions where we've had conferences and we are served by our own students. We have success stories when we move around and we find most of the service is being done by our own products. We have gone to hotels and we've met with our students and they tell us, I learned in such and such place. That is a good story. Number two is we have success stories in the international space. Most of the people that we produce locally are finding engagement in different places. The other day we were in Canada and I happened to have learned one of our former students serving in Canada to having learned from a TVET institution. We have success stories we have had training in some of our TVET institutions with the industry. A case in point is what we have had in Kwale. The mining that has been happening in collaboration with the more technical University of Mombasa. That is that's a success story. We have so many that we need to highlight. If we do our tracer studies, we shall find out where our people are. These industries that we see, the local ones, the cottage industry that we see. Go to every river road of every town, the river road of every town, you'll find most of the people are doing graphic designs, have learned it from our institutions, and they are now being approached to design possibly these are posters, to design even placards, to design even t-shirts. This is happening in our ICT departments. We have success stories happening in our agriculture sector, whereas people have chosen not to go, but to start production, value addition of their products, and you can see it in our supermarket. We have the Nyandarua National Polytechnic, which is doing yogurt. I request all of us to buy. It's wonderful. It is out of the resources that they have been given. That is the machines that were supplied to all institutions. That Nyandarua National Polytechnic is able to produce yogurt, and we find it in our supermarkets. Every time you go that direction, so there is always something that you can get. I know Nyandarua is producing potatoes. We have success stories. Let us make it loud. Let us say our story. If we don't say it, it will not be said by anybody else. I appreciate the councils that have insisted that we need to have kind of local production. When you go to every national poly, there's something that they should be producing. And we need to leverage on that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Prof. I have one more question, and after which I'm going to open the discussion to the other members in the conference, both online and here that we are seated, so that a few of them can just ask or contribute a little. Then after that, when members have participated, I'm going to give Professor Wagai also 1 minute for reaction, also to welcome the chief guest to wrap up this session. So the final question from the moderator: what are the various roles of the various players, that is Ministry of Education, Industry, and TVET institutions in the implementation of CBET in terms of collaborations and industrialization of CBET? What are their roles?
Thank you. We have mentioned 3 institutions, and I would like to liken it to the African JICO, where for us, for the Sufuria to be well settled, the 3 need to work in very close collaboration. The ministry is the custodian of policy. The ministry is our financial support. The ministry is the direction giver. Industry is the beneficiary of the outcomes of training. Industry is the base after training where we shall go to. Then we have TVET institutions that prepare. They receive the policy from ministry and convert that policy into actionable items that prepare trainees for the industry. So we need to work together as 3 entities that are interconnected, and one cannot exist alone and achieve without the other. All these students or trainees that we have belong to this country. These are my children, these are your children, these are my relatives, these are your relatives. So if we take them at heart and understand that we cannot develop as a country without taking everybody holistically into the train of being productive, and we allow them space to go for their dream and appreciate that TVET is a preferred alternative and equal to the other alternatives that exist, then we shall bring up the level of our country. We shall bring up the level of our economy. We shall bring up the level of our life. We shall bring up the value of our lives higher, and when we move everybody up, we all move to become. So what I would say is, we need close collaboration. We need policies that promote different institutions and industry to collaborate. We need policies that promote clear communication from the ministry to the different institutions, and we need policies that promote industry to produce and the industry to support training and industry being the training. These layers are not one layer. If you mix them, they will become one unified composition that is allied swiftly and with each other filling into the spaces of the other. I request that we fill into the spaces of the other. Industry to fill into the space of TVET institutions, TVET institutions to fill into the space of industry, and the ministry crown it all. And then we have a country that looks at matters holistically. Minister of Labor and Minister of, as long as they are involved in the training of the other ones and our people, they should communicate. They should share resources. They should share ideas, because we are the same people. Ministries are for effectiveness, but we are one country. We are one people that should achieve the dream of this country together. No ministry can succeed without the other. No institution can succeed without the cover of the ministry. And that way, no industry can be very productive in a country that is made up of poor people, in a country that has no supply of the human resource. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I open this forum now to the audience, both online and here in this conference, so that they can have their contribution. Just a few, maybe we can have 3, if possible. 3. Put up your hand if you have anything here. Yes, we have 1. We have 2. Okay, any other 3? We have another one. Okay, so we'll have those 3, and then we'll have Prof, and then we have the chief guest.
Professor, thank you very much for a good presentation. I'm Elijah Ngojiri. I just have one concern. Now, if you compare countries like the Asian tigers, the Taiwan, the Koreans, and all that with Kenya, of course, we know that TVET played a key role for, and even in Europe, for these countries to move from the agrarian revolution to the industrial revolution. Now, if you compare the conditions there at that time and our conditions, how do our conditions here in Kenya compare with those countries? And what can we do as a country if they don't compare, so that we ensure we meet, that is the condition to ensure that CBET succeed. Thank you.
Bwana Jacob, I didn't hear the question, but you may recite it for me. Go to the next one, then you'll tell me all the questions kindly.
Okay, the next one. Maybe in Ngonjiri you can write it somewhere. Or you come on stage. Eh? We can have the next one, and you articulate your voice.
Thank you very much, Prof. My name is Engineer Matoke. Indeed, you have said quite a number of things, and it's like we started well, but I don't know where the rain started beating us. Because when I started training, I was specifically training, I started training as a water engineer. And indeed, you have said quite a number of things, because I'm seeing, lastly, just to say what you said finally, that ministries for effectiveness, which is true, but we seem to be working separately. Remember when you said that sometimes we train at a lower level, that's NITA, and it's like we don't seem to know what the right hand and the left are doing, because we need to keep track on what is being done where. Like when NITA is training, our institution now should be upscaling and upskilling the skills so that we widen the industry. In fact, you even said of the tracer study of where you get our graduates. Now you find there are so many things actually you have touched that we should be able to check on where we went wrong. You see, like the Chuakalis, they are called Chuakali because they are working on the hot sun, but they are Chuakasi, by the way. I also worked with them in the informal sector. Even engineers from the university, you tell them to repair a car, they only tell you, I know how it is done, but he or she cannot do it. So we should be able to have everybody on board, and we don't need to work separately. We also need to know our role. You see, as a national polytechnic, we are supposed to link with relevant institutions for the upskilling and scaling. Thank you.
We have a question or a suggestion from one of our trainees, please.
Okay, maybe we can listen to them as Prof. Kitainge listens to them, then he can answer all of them or contribute on all of them.
Okay, our chief guest, Professor Waihanyo, Chair Governing Council, our able Chief Principal.
Yes, just hurry up with the question. Go direct to the question,
Okay,
please.
mine is a suggestion. As it goes, as us as innovators, we are going or facing challenges. For example, basic challenges and supply challenges of the tools that we need. For example, me, because I'm a new student at Nyandarua Polytechnic, I need I see that list there is a pop that we need 3,600. But because I am independent, I don't know where I can get that cash from. There is also those basic needs that such as those set tools and ETCs. I don't know where I can get it from because I am individual. As we can sort out, me and my able principal, we can sort the case. But what about the other innovators in other institutions? How will they be able to settle out the case? And yes, for the other thing is that after innovators invent their innovative ideas, I was suggesting that these innovators, as a country, we could just open companies, different companies from each innovators, so as to keep up the production of what they have innovated. Because after innovation and we keep the inventions at desk or at store, it will not help the country anymore. It will just be there, people will just will be embracing it, but if it will not be put into practice, if it will not be put into a productive state, it will not help the country to a bottom-up economy growing. So I was suggesting, as a government, there could be just that category, such that each and every innovator could be given a certain sector and be embraced as a CEO of that sector in that company to facilitate that production of what he has innovated. And that could be good. And my last is, as per my innovation of mega power production project, which is an intended project to be innovated, the basic requirement is a starter motor of a helicopter. And my question is, from the government, will there be you provide that support,
facilitation,
that facilitation of the starter motor of the helicopter, so as we can uptake the mega power production project?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So the next one, or they are over.
I think he can tackle this one.
Yes, Prof, maybe you can tackle what you have had. Professor Kitainge, are you hearing us? Maybe you can respond to what you have got already.
Thank you, moderator. I actually am at a loss because I didn't hear all the questions, and I even wrote in the chat that somebody should write it for me, or you can recite so that I can hear them.
Okay.
They were too low.
Okay. One of them, or the last one that has been mentioned, was about the innovators have some challenges. They lack resources.
Yes.
They lack resources. They lack financial capacity. to be able to finish on their products and market them. And therefore, the question was, do we have a way that we can provide facilitation for innovators? The other question was, you have got that one, Prof?
Yes, I've got it. Facilitators of innovators.
Yes, the other one is the Asian tigers, Asian tiger countries, such as Korea, Taiwan, Singapore, Europe. In Europe, they used TVET to shift from agrarian revolution to industrial revolution.
Yes.
How does our conditions in Kenya compare with those countries to accommodate CBET? That is one. Number two, what can we do as a country to ensure these conditions are favorable for CBET? I hope you have got that one.
Yes.
And another one, if I remember it well, by Engineer Matoke. He was talking that we were doing it very well, but at the beginning, but somewhere the rain started beating us. So if I can remember, how do we go back to that? Is that engineer? Yes. How can we go back to where we started? Because these innovations keep on coming. We have so much in terms of documentations, but implementation now and the support, I think this one agrees to what the young man has asked about supporting, so that finally we can have real productions. So how can we tackle this one in our country? Welcome, Prof.
Thank you. I'll start with the last one because it answers all. We were doing very well until a certain point. The best way for us to go about it is just to go to where we lost the way and restart and be truthful to ourselves. We need to implement our dream because nobody, I remember the statements that were mentioned by our late President Moi, alituambia kwamba hakuna mtu anapenda Mwafrika. You are loved for what you have. We need to go back to the basics, be truthful to ourselves, and do our part truthfully. The Asian tigers were truthful to themselves. They were faithful to their dream, and they pursued it. We can make it to achieve that which we want to. We are not in isolation. We are part of the World League. What is happening in Kenya is affected by what is happening in other countries. But the interest of Kenya should be with the leaders of Kenya, who are ourselves. We are the leaders in the TVET space. So we should pursue the dream of TVET, and we should pursue the focus of TVET, because world over, it's now TVET. We may want to go back to the comfort, but we shall be alone. World over is CBET, it is competencies, it is focusing on that which matter, that which is able to give you a value, that which is able to move you to. We may not have the comfort of staying as we are, because we are not in isolation. We are in the space that is affected by others. We must raise to the occasion as leaders of TVET to achieve the dream. How do we achieve it? By training that is focused, by having training that is meaningful, by having training that is aimed at improving somebody's life, not just to pay fees and they pass through our space and they have not become better, but we contribute to their poverty. We have our innovators. Innovators lack resources, but I'm sure if we prioritize that which counts, for example, right now, matters water, clean water, is a matter that we need to focus on, because water affects our health health levels. If we deal with prevention matters towards our illnesses rather than curing, then we shall be using the costs, and finally more money will be relieved to go into the innovations. There is a lot we can do. We even have agencies. We have the Kenya National Innovation Agency, which is supposed to promote innovations in this country. We have sectors in our economy that are meant to appreciate that which is novel, which counts. If we write better proposals than we are doing now, I've said we write better because we need to do, we are doing good, but we need to write better. And then we show the value of what we need to innovate. I'm sure resources will be found. And it doesn't have to be a big thing. It only has, let's focus, let's prioritize, let's make deliberate effort as the leaders, and we shall be judged by the time we are leading on the outcomes that we shall have at the end of it. We are the leaders now, we must achieve. Let's be deliberate way to improve. 1, 2, 3, more important. And if we improve 10 in 20 in Kitale, we improve 100 in Mombasa, we improve 50 in Nairobi, country will be improving. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof.
Only some 3 questions here. Professor, we appreciate your presentation, and I know having you in the university and now at the helm of TVET in SIDAC, and our officers present as the guests who has opened our space today, our conference. I wish the following questions we would answer together. 1, you have talked very well about collaboration with industries, but in Kenya, we have very scarce industries, even to accommodate much of our trainees that have joined our TVET institutions. In this case, and what was talked of, where there is the issue of industrial productivity of the work going on there, and the training space for equipping our trainees with the skills, that is balancing profit and skilling our trainees in the industry. It is part of our challenge as TVET institutions. I wish that one you'd address. Moreover, that you are able to sit in high-ranking positions in the government, where you can also talk and ask them what we do about the issue of the equipment and the facilities that are needed. We have found out that for these trainees to be well thoroughly equipped to produce in the industries, both in the institutions and in the job market, they need to have hands-on, as we have started CBET courses. Yet, the infrastructure, equipments, and tools, as one of the trainees has said, are a challenge. What would our government do better to be able to equip the institutions with these facilities, including workshops and other requirements? I would also look at the issue of the trainee-trainer ratio, which is a mess in Kenya. If we are to achieve this CBET and skilling of our trainees, I think the government should heavily invest on the aspect of trainee-student ratio in our institutions, because if the situation at hand continues, finally we revert back to the theoretical training. What would the government and other sectors in the country do from your position and the position of our professor and our TVET director? And finally, of language speak German, can we improve, sir, and others?
Thank you, Daktari. Any person online that would like to Okay, to Professor Kitainge, so that to react on what you have got. Please welcome, sir.
Is affected by what is happening in other countries. So we need to produce for ourselves and also for the rest. By the way, in the 70s, 80s there, youthful population, and if we can skill our youthful population, then opportunities are many. The export market is a big market, and you can't export when the local is not satisfied. You can't export when the local is also not being serviced, because finally you deplete the source. So we need to produce for local and for the export. With regard to trainee-trainer ratio, the government is working and is moving towards in the right direction. And I say this, it is better 2 steps in the right direction than doing nothing. Better you do 2 steps in the right direction than doing nothing. We cannot just sit and complain. We must be moving. We must be seen and we must be doing something. We have something in our hands. Can we utilize it to the best? For example, if we have one machine, I think we should be more innovative in the way we utilize what we have than just saying we don't have enough, we want to give up. Let us not give up. We cannot give up anyway. It's not right. It should not happen, and none of us should give up. The 2,000 trainers that we are getting go towards improving the space. But we know the admission is missing. So still we need to build the capacity, we need to enhance our training. And remember, I began by saying Rome was never built in a day. Let us build our Rome. Those who are doing the foundation must do a strong foundation that will stand 10 years to come, 20 years to come. The challenges that we have in the training spaces, believe you me, nobody, no setup has life without challenges. Out of these challenges, we are able to get opportunity. Out of these challenges, we are able to even develop new industry. Who knew that ICT will overtake the other, the physical, the hard machines and that in terms of absorption of our youth? Who knew that Juakali will be absorbing 80% of our? Who knew that at one point we shall be saying we have a choice between that which is produced in the established manufacturing centers weighed against that which is produced in our Kamkunji? When you go to the construction industry, and an artifact like the wheelbarrow, they say the Juakali wheelbarrow will serve you better. What are the attributes that we have in that we can improve it to become the better option? So as a country, it has to be deliberate, it has to be a focused effort towards equipment, towards utilization, towards the sharing, because it is also in our own. We know that some of us have more than we require, and your next door neighbor does not have that which you have, and that which you don't have, she has or he has, and you are not willing to share. It is also about us. CBET may not be perfect at the beginning, but it moves in the right direction. And that is the direction where the world is. Today I can tell you we went for where they make these jumbo jets. And they told us that they are lacking maintenance engineers for the aeroplanes. And they are coming to Kenya as a place where we have the skill so that they can go and do conversion of our mechanical engineers to become aeroplane engineers. So generally there is space. As long as we continue improving ourselves in the spirit of lifelong learning and perfecting that which we have, make it better, to make it more efficient, to make it more effective, we shall be there in due course. Even the tigers that we've mentioned, the Asian tigers, we were one together, but they moved in the right direction. Let us purpose to move in the right direction. Let us purpose to do the right things. Let us deliberately put our effort in making our products better today than they were yesterday, and better tomorrow than they are today. We are not yet there, but we should move in the right direction. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. In the interest of time, I want to appreciate your resilience, listening to us, and I'm sure you are seated wherever you are. So now we are going to engage just a little moment. We engage Professor Wagayu just to say something. Then she's going to welcome the chief guest, and then she's going to welcome the chief guest, and then we are going to give the platform to the chief principal of Nyandarua National Polytechnic to say something, and also pass a vote of thanks to Professor Kitainge. So welcome, Prof.
Can I speak from here?
Yes, you can speak from there.
Thank you very much, Professor Kitainge, for being with us this afternoon. You have elaborated very well on our theme for this afternoon on TVET industry collaboration for TVET industrialization. I think you have enlightened most of us because of your presentation and the way you have looked at that key theme for our Polytechnic and for our nation. And we have realized the need for industrial collaboration. And as you said, there's no way we can work in our own silos alone. We have to collaborate, industry, the TVET institution, and even the government. And when we collaborate, it's for the better of our society. Because when we collaborate, we are providing solutions for our society. And you know, in our Vision 2030, we are looking to become an industrialized nation. The only way we can become an industrialized nation is by working with industry. But one of the things that we need to look at is the acceptance of industry, of TVET institutions, and us. That collaboration needs acceptance of both ourselves and them, that they can come to our institutions and learn from us, and we can also go to them and learn from them. In fact, one of the questions that was raised by one of the trainees about tools, that issue of lack of tools can be through that collaboration, because when you go to the industry, you will practice with their tools, and I'm sure they have even more advanced tools than we have. So they will get the practice when they go into the industry, and they will be able to enhance their skills that way. So if we had that collaboration, it would be a win-win for both of us and even the industry. And even when the industry comes to us and they see the innovations we have done, they can pick up and commercialize our industries. So it is very key for us to move forward together with industry. I would like to ask, I don't know whether it's to ask a question, whether you'll answer or something, or whatever you will say about this. You talked about language and said that we don't necessarily need, for example, the English language or mathematics. However, you know, we follow policy. For admission, the policy says this is required. Is the ministry looking at changing the policy or making the policy flexible for us to invite anybody who speaks in whatever language, and we train them in whatever language that they are able to communicate in? And then finally, I would like to comment on the foreign languages that was raised. This is one of the areas that even our institution needs to start looking at, having a department that teaches foreign languages. Because if people are coming to look for skilled people trained from our country, then they need to speak the language. So if we have a department that teaches foreign languages and the more common ones, then we can also move forward in that way, and our trainers who are coming out from, the trainees who are coming out from here and are going out there for their skills, they can also have the language as they train. So that is something for us to look at and move that way. But like you said, Rome was not built in a day. We start slowly and we continue, and our dreams can come true, especially this one of industrializing Kenya by 2030. That one can come through our institutions and through us becoming production centers. So thank you very much for being with us. We really appreciate the sacrifice you have made, the time you have put aside to be with us. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Maybe you can react to that before the chief gets says something. Please, Professor Kitainge.
Allow me to appreciate the chair for the kind words and the wonderful experiences she's presented. I wouldn't want to respond. I am in total agreement with what she said, that
Prof, we have lost you. We have lost you. Can you hear us?
let us hear from the conference so that we build each other and we develop the country together. Thank you so much, Chair. It was a wonderful experience, and thank you for allowing me to speak to your gathering. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Professor Kitainge. Maybe there was an issue of the network. Maybe you lost it, but I don't know what to do about it. But we can have the chief principal to do his comments. Then we can do the last with the chief guest.
Thank you so much, moderator. Thank you so much, Prof, for that engagement. Really, it has been quite fruitful and quite informative. So we want to really thank you for that. We are losing connection again. Kindly, ICT team. Prof, please, our ICT team, there is a challenge. It seems to be emanating from our side. Prof, are you back? Prof, you are there?
Prof, can you get us now?
Hello?
Hello, Prof, can you get us?
There is still a challenge. I know these gadgets and technology can always misbehave, so let's bear with each other. Prof, are you there now? Or he seems to have exited. Okay, maybe I can just make my comments. Yeah. Prof seems to have left, but probably for the benefit of those who are online and the audience who are here, I wanted to thank Prof for the engagements we have had. That was quite fruitful. I want to agree with him, the baby steps we are taking as TVET it is not in vain, and we are moving in the right direction. Just a follow-up on what he said, actually, there has been a disconnect between the industry and the TVETs. But with the efforts we are making and the restructuring we are making at the moment, I think we can confirm that the industry is appreciating what we are doing, because you realize the ministry has really emphasized on the office of ILOs or Industrial Linkages Office, and these offices are quite vibrant. For example, Nyandarua National Polytechnic, we are already going into dual training, and I can confirm our previous engagement with the industry, they have shown a lot of interest. In fact, they have given us a lot of so many training slots, and that is a testament that they are really interested with what we are doing. Maybe it is only that we had not begun that approach, and I really wanted to appreciate Prof for those insights. I will speak to the issue of the languages. Definitely, our official language in Kenya is English, but at the moment, the reality is that we are training for other markets that speak different languages. As Nyandarua National Polytechnic, we have a department, the Talent Development Center, where we have introduced these languages. Probably I would encourage our students to find out what is happening in this department. I'm sure we will continue doing sensitization, because we are teaching Germany, we are teaching French, we are also teaching Chinese, so that at least you are exposed in these areas, so that as you go out there, you will not have a communication barrier. However, there are challenges, because we also have a serious shortage in terms of experts in these languages. And the few are there are quite expensive, again making the training in these languages expensive. I wish Prof was there, so that we also appeal to the ministry to see how we can engage a collaborative approach. Maybe they engage some trainers for us, so that we make it possible for our trainees, and we make this language training more affordable. But something is happening. Prof, you addressed that. We already have that one here, and I would encourage all the TVETs, because actually our PS has made appeals to us as TVETs to start this foreign language training, and here it is happening. It's only that the uptake is quite low, and I'm appealing to the students, please take advantage of this. So with those few comments, I want to pass it over to our guest of honor to make his comments, and probably he could tell us what the ministry, because he's representing the PS, where he can say something about the policies and these issues. Probably it can be the opportunity for that. Otherwise, thank you so much. Prof, thank you so much. Audience, those who are online and in the diaspora, we want to appreciate you so much for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Principal. I just want to say that, to begin with, I did not have any pronouncement to make. From the PS, I was coming to open the conference. But there are a few things that I can mention concerning what Professor said. I would have wished that he was online when we are speaking. But even though I want to say that I've really appreciated the way he has presented and the way he has answered those questions. So there are a number of things which have been spoken about. I would wish to emphasize on them. But to begin with, I just want to say that let's not forget what the PS said in the speech, that we should aim at applying research that we can use to solve our problems. Like today when we were out there and we were having the presentations of the various exhibits by the trainees, we saw very good innovations that can turn around the economy of this nation, not just this institution. Because if they are commercialized, they can really take us far. So applied research will come in this way. For example, if it's the sweeping machine that we saw there, that is the prototype, the first design that has been made. Research should be done on how to make, for example, the wheels of that machine to be adjustable, because as you are going along the streets, cleaning, like for example, you are cleaning Nyahururu town, you may need to cross from one road to the other, and there are various levels on that road. You cannot keep carrying that machine, isn't it? So there is need for research on that kind of an innovation. So applied research is not just like going into the library to read. It is now investigating this innovation that you have come up with and find various designs which will best suit the work that that design or that innovation is meant for. So I want to give that challenge to those innovators, because the innovations that I have seen can really make the difference between being rich and being poor. They can make that difference. Kenya, we say that we are a middle income nation, but many people say that we are poor. We are a middle income country. But we can move to the next level if we can make those innovations that we have to become very, very commercializable, if there is such a word. Something that can be made to be aesthetically appealing. Not only that, something that can be made to be more efficient. Do not just make an innovation and leave it to rot in the shelves. Because what you are having here, you are sitting on a gold mine. So please take time, and may the institution also support those trainers and trainees as they continue with those prototypes, so that they can make them even better and ready for the market. The professor has talked about the niche. Each institution has a niche. And when we talk about, for example, languages, one of the challenges that we have in the nation right now is the wage bill. You hear people talking about the wage bill. All the time it is about the wage bill. So if, for example, now we start pushing for employment of foreign language trainers more than we are pushing for the employment of technicians, because that's the direction that we are moving. We are requesting for technicians to be employed by the government so that our trainers can be able to work more efficiently. So if we start now pushing so much for the languages and other things, we may end up losing or dropping the ball. So let's concentrate on our niche. Like in this institution, we are a center of excellence in a particular area. If we can concentrate on that and expand on it, we will be much better off. And then we will be able to sell even the institution better. There are also some institutions which are visited in this country which have facilities, state of the art, which are not yet utilized to the maximum. Is there a way in which institutions can find modalities of sharing this equipment? Like, for example, you may find that an institution could be having tractors, and several of them. These are mobile equipment which are not in use. And there is an institution which is, for example, training in such a field, like, for example, in agriculture, where they do not have such equipment. Is there a way? So we need the managers of these institutions, that is the principals, to sit down and come up with the proposals on how this equipment can be shared. Because when we share this equipment, as I have found in some institutions where universities are sharing the institutions, the equipment with our institutions, there is more benefit when we have that kind of a relationship between ourselves, even before we get more equipment. The government is doing a lot in terms of hiring. We've just come from recruitment of trainers. Several of them, 2,000? 2,000, Mwalim? Yes. 2,000. 2,000 is not a small number, getting people at job group J and K in the public service. It's a big number. And you can see it's only in TVET. And other areas have not been having such big numbers of employment. So what we can do is try to optimally use the trainers that we have. Of course, there will be shortages all the time because as we continue, more and more people will want to come to TVET. Because as you can see now, people are even choosing to drop going to university and coming to our polytechnics. So the shortages will always be there because there is that now realization that TVET is the way to go. We talked about how ministries can collaborate. Right now, the Ministry of Education is collaborating with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. As we speak, we are having the second job fair going on. We had the first job fair, which was on in Meru. That was in the month of early May. Now we are having the second job fair, which is in Embu, where TVET institutions are getting involved. This is where the employers or the ones who are recruiters for our skilled employees, those who take them to foreign countries, are given an opportunity to come and meet our trainees and our graduates in a controlled environment whereby now they can give advice, and then from there linkages are created and the TVET sector is enhanced. So we are having that kind of a relationship, and we are going to ensure that we have more of these kind of interactions within ministries. There is one thing I would wish to challenge you about. That is what Professor talked about. He said that we can have training arranged in such a way that trainers have students with them in the training environment for 2 days. That's an example he gave. And then for the next 3 days of the week, the trainees go to the workplace and they do the work there, the actual work. And then they come back again. Or you can have a modality whereby you have a month in the institution and another month in the industry. And a very good example he gave is an example of whereby now we use our institution as the industry. There are many things which happen in this institution. Once in a while you will find like in a TVET institution, we are building the school gate, we are building the fence, we are doing piping, but we are employing people from out there and they come and do everything. We should allow such a situation whereby there is that relationship where the student can be there with that person who is doing that work the whole day, not just a few hours. Because what we are training in is a skill, and this skill is not a part-time thing. You need to get or acquire stamina or resilience in the workplace. If, for example, ni ile kazi ya mjengo, the one that whereby you have to lift stones, you don't lift it for a few hours. You lift from morning to the evening if you have to be paid. So we should have that kind of an arrangement whereby we are not just giving this person the skill, we are enabling this person to be even resilient to the extent that when this person goes to the field and he is employed, this person is able to work without even the employer having any question. So with those few remarks, because I realize that time is far much gone, I want to say that you have done the right thing to have this conference, and I look forward to seeing the presentations which are going to be happening. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Guest. Let's clap for everybody. So I welcome now Dr. Mbugua to take over from there. Thank you, everybody, for listening to us, those online and here physically. Thank you, Professor Kitainge. We've grown richer than we were there before. We thank you very much for your contribution. Thank you very much. Welcome, Dr. Mbugua.
Thank you, Moderator Professor Kitainge. Can you speak? Professor? Okay, we have him online, but I think he's not able to reach us. But he has said on phone that I appreciate the moderator, I appreciate Professor, I appreciate our chief guest, I appreciate our chief principal, even for the opportunity that we have given him to address the research team gathered today. Without much ado, I want also, we clap for the presenters and the moderator very well with the, the old, very good hearty claps of our former President Moi. 1, 2, 3. Yes, tunashukuru kwa kazi nzuri yenye mmefanya wakati huu na presenter wetu, the keynote speaker, Professor Kitainge. Mbarikiwe sana. Fungua. Thank you very much. Now that our session is gone, we supposed to break for lunch by 1, but we are now 1:45. I wish then the coordinator will allow us to go for 1 hour and be back by 2:45 for the next presentation, even before we break for the presentations of the papers in our breakout rooms. So for this time, I apologize, we did not give the directions to our guests. To our left, or rather to my right, behind you, we have some rooms that we could have used as washroom. Outside there, opposite the house or block, we also have some other washrooms that we can use. But now for our student, we urge you now, you may break for lunch, even as the coordinator gives direction to his, rather to her guests of the way forward up to coming back. Thank you very much. We appreciate you all. Our student, this is just the beginning. We ask you to be back by 2:45. Then we can still move on with the next session. This one is very important for you, even for your future. As you can get the debate, you need a career which you can get in here and outside the country. Thank you very much. Madam Pauline.
Thank you. With me is just a very brief announcement that we will allow the chief guest and the governing council to leave first for lunch, and it's going to take place just where they took the breakfast in the boardroom. And then we will have all our presenters, all our innovators and skills competitors will be in B01, B02. The ushers are wearing their badges. They'll be able to take you to the venues. And then we'll have all the other staff, the members of NYNP staff and